Welcome to Fireside Sunday, a series where we talk about our feelings like women. Just kidding. We talk about the crypto sentiment and Bitcoin, and yeah, I mean we kind of just chill out. We got so much noise going on during the week. My live streams are I'm almost losing my voice every day with the price action. So Sundays we get to just lay back, kick it, unedited, talk about what I think might happen and so forth. So grab your whatever you're drinking and let's have a chat by the fire. So the past week hasn't really been too significant with Bitcoin, right? Hasn't really been too significant. We've been talking about, our divergences here for so long and how we're overextended. And I mean, you can see that, guys. Like, you can see, right? If you're looking over time, you can see very clearly we have not had any retracements for um, uh, quite a while, honestly. I mean, if you want to play it conservatively, we could say that we haven't had any real retracements from, I guess, this point here, right? October 12th. So 2 months. What day is today? Almost exactly 2 months ago. We haven't had any real retracements. If you want to, play it conservative, I guess you could say this maybe, but I mean, not really, not in the larger picture of it. But I would honestly say that the last real retracement we had was like maybe this point. How much percent was this? Yeah, like 6%. I mean, you could even say this. Anyways, doesn't matter. So Bitcoin's just been ripping it, right? Bitcoin has been on a bender that is seemingly nonstop, and it's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild, right? It's pretty wild. I made a video a couple of days ago talking about Ethereum where I referenced Ethereum's daily order block relative to Bitcoin's order block. And you can see that Bitcoin is not quite at its order block yet. Okay, so it's not quite there yet. And typically what happens when we are close to a zone like this but haven't tapped it yet is typically we will hit it, right? We will typically hit it. We usually don't front run large zones like this, and we definitely don't front run these zones by consolidating just underneath them. Okay, so I do want to say that, and I do want to say that it is possible that Bitcoin comes up to this daily order block between 45 and 47. Now, we're not going to be talking about technical analysis today. We're not doing that on Sundays. You guys know I don't trade weekends. But the only reason I brought it up is because I want to talk about the sentiment, okay? So I don't know about you guys, but for me, people are starting to talk about crypto, okay? People that don't know crypto, people that are not in our space, that don't do what we do every day, are starting to talk about it. And so that raises some suspicion, okay? I don't want to sound like a perma bear. I said this last time, I said this last week, and whatever else. So I just want to reiterate that I trade every range, okay? I trade zones, I trade ranges. And so I am schlong, which is I am long and short at the same time, like 80% of the time. Okay? So I don't want you guys to, don't get it twisted. I don't care if it goes up or down. So I don't want you to just take what I'm going to say and throw it in my face because it doesn't matter. And I just have an opinion, right? Just like you have an opinion, I have an opinion, but mine are public. All right. So it's uncommon to front run these levels. Yet everybody is seemingly starting to talk about crypto. Okay. If you've been around, you guys know that when people that don't really have business in talking about crypto are talking about crypto, that should kind of tip you off a bit. Okay. That should tip you off. The whole reason the market moves is liquidity. Okay. Market makers are trying to make their money. That's just how it goes. That's how it is. That's how it's always been. That's how it'll always be. Right? This is not a free game. This is a game designed to take your money, just like the casino. And the way that they can take your money is by targeting the people that don't know the game. Okay? Now, retail is not even remotely significant in terms of capital, right? Like, retail can't move the market, but they can come after retail's liquidity. And just because it's considered quote unquote retail doesn't mean that there aren't some degenerate retailers that are putting in a couple mil on positions. Now, in the grand scheme of things, couple mil is not a lot of money for sure, but that's still liquidity that they will attack. And so, how can they convince you, retail, to put your couple mil up? And it's exactly by doing stuff like this. Okay. When people that have no business talking about crypto start talking about crypto, this should be a sign that we are potentially reaching an end to this little rally we got going on here. Right? It happens every time. And I believe last cycle, CryptoFace spoke on Dogecoin, you know, when Doge ran up to whatever it ran up to, 70, whatever, right? When Doge made it to 75, 70, whatever. That was the talking point of the dinner table. Okay, he referenced that. And for me, I've started to notice it. Okay, I've started to notice it. Just like earlier in the year when Pepe did whatever percent this did, 1700%, whatever, 1600. The talking point of the crypto space at this point was Pepe, but this was not the talking point of the table, as CryptoFace referenced, like it was with Doge, right? Doge went up a stupid amount, went up like, I don't even know, yeah, like so stupid, like 20,000%. That's insane. Anyways, right now I'm starting to see this as a talking point. Okay. Now, there's a couple things I need to say. Oops, let's get back to my clean chart. A couple things I want to say in regards to that. Number one, I've started to see it. Okay. It doesn't mean that we're necessarily at the top now, but to build our, I guess, narrative in terms of sentiment, the market makers' jobs are to get retail committed, right? So we do have the sentiment. We do have people, we do have retail starting to like, oh, be aware of this, right? They're starting to be aware of it. And so market makers are doing their job, right? What happens at close to a top of a range of a cycle? We start to have altcoins like rip it infinitely, right? Alts are doing that now. This is altcoin season. It is a version of altcoin season anyway. And when this happens, this is usually a sign of a top. Okay, this is usually a sign of a top. And why? Because when all these crypto people come in, when all these when all these non-crypto people start to talk about and hear about Bitcoin and other cryptos, they start to learn about these things. And then they start to know that, like, oh man, like the talk around the table is, yeah, Bitcoin is the main one, but then there's something called altcoins, and there are so many, and it's a currency, and like, Cardano does this, and so Cardano, Solana is built on this chain, and I don't know any of the fundamental stuff. I really don't. I just trade it. But they say all those terms. Yeah, man, Solana, like, you could play games on it, or like whatever it is, right? And they're like, oh man, you got to get in because Solana was like $300 and now it's only 70. So on Bitcoin, you could make double your money, but on Solana you can make 10 times your money. On Dogecoin you can make 50 times your money and whatever. And so a lot of the times, in addition to after Bitcoin rips it and profits get rolled over into altcoins, which is what we're seeing now, these retail FOMO, right? FOMO is a huge thing in trading, obviously. People are more drawn to the Dogecoins, the Pepes, the Cardanos, and whatever else, right? Now, typically when we have a blow off top, which I don't believe we had yet, because like I said in the beginning, we are kind of just consolidating right before a zone here. And that doesn't usually happen. And that even wouldn't be considered a blow off top. So for those who may not know, a blow off top is where, it kind of sounds like it does what it sounds like, where we have a blow off top. Like we come up really high, maybe get a massive wick and then like come down, something like this, right? Or it's not going to be that exaggerated. It could be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, right? It could just be bang and then bang, right? So we're not really getting that. This does not look top-ish on Bitcoin, right? But when we're talking about the sentiment and we're talking about how the talks around the dinner table have begun, right? It should tip us off that perhaps things are going to change soon, right? Perhaps things are going to change soon. We know that price cannot just go up only. We know this. Just like it can't just go down only, right? It cannot. It simply cannot. It has to go up, has to go down. And I can guarantee you, right? Trading is all probabilities, but there is 100% certainty, 100% that it's not going to go up forever. 100%. I can guarantee that. So when we start to have these talks around the dinner table, and we start to see these altcoins pumping, all right, let's, things are starting to potentially get heated here, right? Everybody's calling for 50K. Everybody's calling for 100K. Everyone's saying bull market's here, bull market's here, bull market's here. I personally don't believe the bull market is here yet. I really don't. I don't know where my invalidation on that is going to be. Perhaps 55K. If we break that and hold a bit above there, I'll say, all right, maybe we're in a bull market. But I don't believe we are yet. I believe that it's just been too easy for us to have been in a bull market or to be in a bull market here. I believe it's a bear market rally because it's just too easy, right? These talks around the dinner table usually don't come with no consequence, okay? And as of since October 12 or whatever the day was that I said, right? October 13th. As of that date, there has been no consequence, right? Especially on the larger term time frames, the grand picture of it all, there's been no consequence for longing. And the last thing, guys, is so we talked about the altcoins. When the shite coins start to do this, right? Like this coin's been around since, ironically, that same date or a couple of days after, we've had no consequence on Bitcoin, right? This coin, big time, is like a dirty, dirty coin. Okay, it's a dirt coin. Like it's been around for 2 months. Okay, it's been around for 2 months. It's basically also gone up only, and it's up 2,000%. When this happens across the board with like the dirty, grimy coins, that is when you know the top is near. Okay, now I'm not saying that we're gonna dump today. I'm not saying that we're not gonna hit. Like I believe we're gonna hit this zone. I don't like not necessarily we're gonna hit it and then reject right away. Remember, I trade the ranges, but these should be warning signs. Okay, when things like big time or AI Doge was a big thing earlier this year, for example, starts to pop off. Okay, and then when you see the like really really dirty coins, like the sexual coins, I'll call it. I'm not gonna name them for YouTube purposes, but like Blank Rocket, if you remember from the last cycle when things like that was going up, or like Poo Coin and like, you know, just like weird stuff starts going up 5,000-6,000%. You guys know the top is near, man. The top is near. So my sentiment is, or what I've realized is things, I mean, have been overheated. The talk around the table has begun. So for me, I mean, it can go high. It can go pretty high. Like Bitcoin can hit 50K, right? Bitcoin can go to like 52K, 53K. And what better way for people to start buying than to break 50K, for example? I'm not saying it's going to, but what better way? Yeah, I mean, it's just it seems like things are too hot. Things have been hot. They've been heated, right? Even on Bitcoin, like we got a lot of resistance above us here. Like this whole zone from where we are currently to like 53. If we, I guess we'll say here, if we break 53.50, or let's say 54, if we break the 54, then I will believe that we're in a bull market. But this is all massive resistance. Coincidentally, when altcoins are also, for the most part, all at significant resistances. Doesn't mean it's going to go down, guys. Doesn't mean you won't catch me on live tomorrow in a long position. I'm actually long right now, okay? But I just wanted to take the time on our beautiful Fireside Sunday to talk about the sentiment, because people are starting to talk about it around the dinner table. And it's a little bit concerning. Honestly, it's a little bit concerning. So if you got in and you made money, congratulations. Consider, I'm not saying do it. I don't want you guys to come back and say, oh, Gio said. You guys do whatever you want. You're grown, I'm assuming. I would just say consider at least taking some off the table, man. Because you did not buy whatever you bought to watch your balance go up only to see it fall again. And if you sell a bit and it keeps going up, sell a bit more. You sell a bit and it keeps going up. Sounds like I'm saying sell a bit. It's fine, guys. It's fine. You made money. Don't get greedy with it, because this is the time when people really get wrecked, right? People buy the top and then it dumps. Or people bought the middle and then it pumped a bit and then it dumps. And then they sell at a loss. Or they bought the bottom and then they find themselves back at the bottom and they're like, damn, I should have done something about it. I should have listened to Geo and took some off the table. So yeah, guys, that is kind of the what I'm noticing. Let me know in the comments if you guys are noticing the same. I don't know. Obviously, I only know my own experiences, but I mean, I DJ weddings and stuff, and so I see people a lot. I meet a lot of new people every weekend. I sit and I chat and I talk, and it seems like that's gonna. Seems like crypto is the starting to be the talking points of the table. So, I don't think we're at the top yet. I think we need to see a blow off top. But I am definitely proceeding with caution. I'm still going to trade my range, so, it is what it is. But I would be lying to you guys if I said that I haven't started selling some of my bags, right? And if it keeps going up again, then it goes up. I made money anyway, so it's fine. I'm not going to sell a little bit and then it goes up another 5%. And then I'm like, okay, let me FOMO back in. No. I will buy, even if I buy at the same price, or even if I buy higher. Let's say I sell, 25% right now of my Bitcoin. And then let's say it goes to 55K and then it retraces to 45K or 47K, for example. I will buy back at 47 after a 15%, 20% dump, even if I bought back higher than where we're at now. Does that make sense? Because I will consider that as a fee for my, I guess, protection, safety. I'm paying to de-risk, right? At this point, when we're starting to talk about it around the dinner table, it can get risky, right? It can get risky. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes, guys. I'll see you on stream this week. As always, I mean, we're going to trade the range either way, so it doesn't matter. I don't care what happens. But I just wanted to talk about what I've been seeing, what I've been hearing. And let me know in the comments if you guys are noticing it too. I don't think we're at the top yet, but for me, I've noticed these conversations. So you guys let me know if you've started to notice that. And then perhaps together we can build, or we can better identify the sentiment, right? Because if I'm saying this and then let's say 20 people in the comments are saying the same thing, then we're building kind of a narrative, right? In terms of the market sentiment and what we're seeing. I only know my experience. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. VIP code 2044. I will see you guys on tomorrow's live stream. And by the way, if you made it to the end, thank you. I appreciate you. Every Monday until Christmas time, I believe there's maybe 3 more maybe. Every Monday until Christmas, we are doing giveaways on the boot camps. And so tomorrow's going to be no different. Make sure you tune in to tomorrow's live stream. See you there. I'll be wearing a Santa hat. See you later.